Hello everyone, this is Lucy from Hebei Giant Metal Technology Company Limited. That our company professional in the wire mesh fence about 30 years. That our company's products is the wire mesh fence, temper fence, palisade fence, steel fence, and gaming box, and so on. That our company located in Hebei Province, Hengshui City, Anping County. That our nearby port is Tianjin Port. Now let's introduce our sample room for you. Okay, follow me. Okay, our first sample is the 358 security fence. It also named anti-clamp fence, present fence. Why it called 358 fence? Because the wire is 8 gauge. 8 gauge is about 4 millimeter. The mesh size is 12.75 millimeter. The horizontal mesh size is 76.2 millimeter. Then when you put your finger on it, that it comes through. So it also named anti-clamp fence. Like this one, the top is bent, connect with the stack. Then that everyone want a clamp, it always counts. The stair with the square post. Square post size can be 60 by 60 millimeter or 80 by 80 millimeter. Also can install with the rectangular post. That connector with the post use the flat ball. The flat ball can be 60 millimeter. And with the anti-steel screw. Like this. This is 358 fence surface treatment like this. This is the powder coated. Powder coated inside is electric galvanized wire welded together into one panel. Then bend the top. Then after this, that do the powder coated. Okay, you can see the one is the square post. The next one, this one is eye post. Eye post like this. This surface treatment also the powder coated. Inside the wire is also the electric galvanized wire. The eye post you can do this is green according RAL 6005 05. The next one like this. This is a flat panel. It is same with before one. The hole size is also 12.75 millimeter. Horizontal mesh is 76.2 millimeter. This wire diameter also 4 millimeter. The inside wire is electric galvanized wire. Inside electric galvanized thickness is about 3.9 millimeter. After coated is 4 millimeter. This connector is different with this one. The before is square post, but this one is the eye post. You can see it connects the clamp, steel clamp, on one side inside this. The eye post size is about 44 millimeter by 77 millimeter, or 50 millimeter by 100 millimeter. Then it connect with the clamp. The clamp is the plastic cap. The behind one is different with the second one. The behind one is with the triangle bend. It also connect with the steel clamp. The post we can connect with the square post or rectangular post. The cap we can weld it with steel cap or plastic cap. Then this is the three kinds different 358 fence panel. This sample is cover fence. It always used in garden fence, building, or road. This one, the wear diameter popular size is 4 mm, 5 mm, 4.5 mm. Inside the wear that we can use the electric galvanized wear, hot dipped galvanized wear. This panel surface treatment always PE coated. The post is different with the panel. It always use the powder coated. But the inside is pre-galvanized paper. Then after coat, that we do the powder coated for rust. You can see this post is named peach post. Why it named peach post? Because it like a peach. Look at this. This is a plastic cap. The size of the peach post is always 50 mm by 70 mm, 70 mm by 100 mm. Two sides. The thickness is about 1.2 mm after powder coated. Then the panel connect with the post. It always uses like this. The post is perforated the hole. Then it connects the panel and the post together. During install, we also can use the plastic clip to straighten it like this. Like this. This can straighten the panel and the post that not move. Okay, this is the peach post cover fence. Then the next is rectangular fence. It is different with the first one. The post use rectangular fence. The size is about 40 mm by 60 mm, 60 mm by 80 mm. Thickness is about 1 mm, 1.2 mm, 1.5 mm to 2.0 mm. The surface treatment is also same with the one. The panel is electric galvanized wear or hot dipped galvanized wear welded together into a panel. Then after we do the panel with PE coated. The post one is pre-galvanized pipe, then powder coated. That's the color we can do green, black, blue, white, and different colors. It connects with the plastic cap. The plastic cap, the quantity is always according to the curves. That about 1 curves, 1 plastic cap. The panel size wise is always 2,400 mm 2,500 millimeter. The length about 3,000 millimeter. The height is different. We can do. The height we can do 1,030 millimeter. 1,230 millimeter. 630 millimeter. The 2,030 millimeter. Why there is a 30 millimeter? Because this edge is about 30 millimeter. The hole size we can do 50 millimeter by 200 millimeter. 55 millimeter by 200 millimeter. This is always a popular size. Then the behind one is the square post. Square post model. This one is also connected with the plastic cap, like this. The post size is always 60 by 60, 80 by 80 millimeter. Surface treatment is the same with the before two cans. The surface treatment panel is electric or galvanized hot dipped galvanized wire welded together, then P-coated. The post is pre-galvanized and powder coated. The cap, always we can use steel cap welded together or plastic cap like this. The next is the single gate. That we can also do the double gate. Because it is only a sample, then we made it small for show convenience. But we can also do more big size and more bigger height. This single gate, the surface treatment is pre-galvanized pipe welded together, then powder coated the whole gate. This gate size, popular size is 60 by 40 millimeter. The thickness is about 1.5 millimeter or 2 millimeter. The inside pipe we can do 25 millimeter or 20 millimeter thickness. That 1 millimeter, 1.2 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter is the popular size. Then it connects with the post. This post is like this. This is square post size. It is 60 by 60 millimeter. Thickness we can do 1.5 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter. This surface treatment also pre-galvanized the pipe, then powder coated. This lock is more easy to open or close. This hinge that we can separate it one load container, that it can protect the gate and the post from broken one load. The next one is panel and pipe welded together. It is a single gate that we can also do like this, a double gate. This single gate, the frame size is always 60 by 40 millimeter. Thickness is 1.5 millimeter, 2 millimeter. The wire diameter that we can do 4 millimeter or 10 millimeter. Inside we can use the electric galvanized wire or hot dipped galvanized wire. Then that powder coated for a whole gate. The post size is 60 by 60 millimeter. Thickness is 1.5 millimeter or 2 millimeter. That is the popular size. Then it connects with a plastic cap. The mesh size we can do 50 millimeter by 200 millimeter or 50 millimeter by 100 millimeter. These two gates we all can use in the pool fence, garden fence, or building, or other many use place. Next one. This one is named chain link fence. This chain link fence inside uses the square post and chain link fence panel. The chain link panel like this is the PVC coated. PVC coated inside wire that we can do electric galvanized wire, hot dipped galvanized wire. After PVC coated, the wire thickness can get 4 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter. The mesh size, popular size is 50 by 50 millimeter, 60 by 60 millimeter. Then that it uses the screw connect the panel and the frame together. The post is a round post. The round post can be 60 millimeter or 80 millimeter. Surface treatment is always pre-galvanized pipe, then powder coated. Like this. This cap is different with our before sample. This cap is a steel cap. Then after powder coated, it uses the screw connect the horizontal pipe and the post together. The next one is named steel fence. The material that have steel or aluminum two cans. It is made by a vertical pipe and a horizontal pipe. The horizontal pipe is also named reel. The reel size is 45 millimeter by 45 millimeter, 40 by 40 millimeter. Thickness that we can do 1.5 or 2 millimeter. Then that connected together with the post. The post size is 60 by 60 millimeter. Thickness is 1.5 millimeter or 2 millimeter. This all panel is pre-galvanized pipe, then powder coated. The next one is high security fence. It always named airport fence. Airport fence, it connects with one big panel, a small V panel. This V panel that we can separate it into two pieces. One V panel like this. The big panel that with three curves. The curves we can do 1 curve, 2 curves, 3 curves, 4 curves. This big panel size, wire diameter, is always inside. Inside the wire is 3.2 millimeter. After PE coated is always 4 millimeter. The wire different wire we all can do. The outside wire we can do 4 millimeter or 5 millimeter. Surface treatment we can we can use the PE coated or powder coated. The post is a square post. The square post and the cover fence panel welded connected together with the plastic cap. With the plastic clamp. Then the big panel post with the top double arm. The double arm is separated with the post. The double arm that connect with the small panel together. On the small panel, we can connect barbed wire and razor wire that for security. Then it always used in airports, builders, or other place. This cover fence is different. It connect with another post like this. This post named Dutch post. The post size is always 48 millimeter, 60 millimeter. The thickness we can do 1.0 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter, 2.0 millimeter. This is a small panel, but the panel width we can do different size. We can do 2.5 meter, 2.4 meter, 3 meter. The height that we can do 1.03 meter, 1.20 meter, 1.63 meter, and 2.03 meter. This one surface treatment is always post is powder coated. The panel is PE coated. Inside we always use the electric galvanized or hot dipped galvanized wire. Post is always same with before or introduce pre-galvanized wire, pre-galvanized pipe. It connect with the plastic clamp. The cap always use the plastic cap like this. That the surface treatment is PE coated and powder coated. That we also can do another hot dipped galvanized wire. Hot dipped galvanized is black wire welded together, then hot dipped. The pipe is the black pipe, then hot dipped. Okay, the next one. The next one is the roll top fence. This one is very, very popular in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore. This roll top fence, like our sample, is powder coated, but we can do hot dipped. The mesh size always 50 millimeter by 100 millimeter. The wire diameter we can do 4 millimeter or 5 millimeter or 6 millimeter. The panel and the post connect. It uses a big screw that through the post, then connect with the small clip. The clip is a steel. It always make a curve on the top and the bottom, these two curves. The round post size, we can do 60 millimeter or 40 millimeter. Okay, next one. This one is also popular in New Zealand market. This is named temperature telling fence. This temperature telling fence the wire diameter is 3 millimeter or 4 millimeter. The mesh size we can do 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter or 60 millimeter by 60 millimeter. The panel width is always 2.4 meter or 3 meter. The height is always 1.8 meter or 2.1 meter. The surface treatment we can do hot dipped galvanized wire wound in the challenge. Then use the hot dipped galvanized tie wire tie the panel and the pipe together. The frame we can do pre-galvanized pipe welded together, then painted the welded point. The pipe size is always 32 millimeter or 48 millimeter. Thickness is 1.5 or 2 millimeter. The behind one is named welded temporal fence. It is different with the before one. The before one is the wooden tie-link temporal fence. This one is welded. You can see the inside panel is the welded panel. This surface treatment is always about the same with the one. The panel is we can do hot dip the galvanized wire welded into a panel, then welded with pre-galvanized pipe welded the frame together. Also, you can also another surface treatment we can do black wire welded into a panel, black pipe welded into a frame, then welded together. After all welded, that we can do the hot dipped. In steel, it always use the plastic base. It always use the plastic base. The base we can fill in the concrete. We can fill in the concrete. Then the panel, we put the panel in the hole one by one, like this. After fill the concrete, the base about weight 28 kilogram. We load this panel in the container. About the panel we can pack it in steel pallets or in bulk, but the base, because it is too weight, we always pack it in the steel pallet. Next one, this is the palisade fence. The palisade fence interconnect with the D-pal or W-pal. The rail and the rail, 2 rail or 3 rail. The post we can use the square post, rectangular post or H post. Surface treatments we always can do pre-galvanized pail and pre-galvanized pipe, then powder coated the whole panel. Also we can do hot dipped after the black pail and the rail connect. This fence is named the palisade fence. It is always use the W pal or D pal, then connect with the rail. The post size always square post or rectangular post, like this, H post. A surface treatment we can do pre-galvanize the pail and the PEP, then powder coated. Another surface treatment we can do hot dipped. Hot dipped after the black pail and the rail. Another surface treatment we can do hot dipped. The next one is age protection mesh fence. This mesh fence, the whole size is always popular size is 50 millimeter by 200 millimeter. These two cans named edge protection fence. It installs like this, one panel and post. The bottom that we can cover protect from fall. Surface treatment we always can do powder coated or hot dipped. The behind one is named crowded control barrier. This surface treatment is powder coated. Also next we can introduce another two cans is hot dipped. The crowded control barrier that always used in public protect persons. The size we can do 2.1 meter wide. The height we can do 1.5 meter or 2 meter. That the different feet. There are different feet. This one is like this, like a bridge. It's a bridge crowded control barrier like this. Okay, the behind one is named trailing fence. You can see it connects with the trailing mesh panel and round post together. There is single arm on the top. We can also do double arm. The horizontal pipe that through the single arm, then with the sleeve connect together. This trailing fence surface treatment like this is hot dipped galvanized wire, and this one we can do hot dipped galvanized after the black pipe cuts into the size you request. The panel and the post connect together use the steel clip with the flat ball. Then on the top, it uses a single arm connect with the bobbied wire that protect. This fence named crowded control barrier. It always used in public sites. There are different there are different feet. This one is welded with the panel together. The second one is a flat bridge. Another one is like a bridge. You can see the panel. It always uses the big pipe. Inside is the small pipe. The frame pipe is always the size is 32 millimeter. Inside the pipe always 50 millimeter or 60 millimeter. The thickness we can do 2 millimeter or 2.5 millimeter. Inside the pipe, is 1.2 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter. Distance is always 150 millimeter. Then it welded in the frame together. When we install this corroded control barrier one by one, it uses this hook and the pin together. The surface treatment is black pipe welded together, then hot dipped. But we also can do the powder coated. We can do different color, yellow, black, green. This mesh is different with this one. It named deer fence. You can see the different. These two mesh always use in the form. This one named deer fence. This one named grassland fence. The surface treatment always hot dipped galvanized wire. The material we can do low carbon steel wire or high tensile, high carbon steel wire. Surface treatment always general hot dipped galvanized, high zinc coated galvanized. It installed always with the T-post and Y-post together. Okay, just now we take you around our sample room. Now let's introduce our products carefully. The first one is a temperature telling fence. This temperature telling fence mainly sell in New Zealand market. Let me show you the size. About the popular size in New Zealand market, it is about the width is 2.4 meter. The height is about 2.1 meter and 1.8 meter. It is according your request. The wear we can do 3 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter, or 4 millimeter. Then it connect with the pipe. It uses the tie wire. The tie wire is about thicker than the mesh wire, about 2 millimeter. Then let me show you the frame pipe. The frame pipe is about 32 millimeter. Thickness we can do 2 millimeter or 1.5 millimeter. All the surface treatment mesh wire, the mesh surface treatment is hot dipped wire. The hot dipped zinc coated general hot dipped is about 30 to 60 gram per square meter. Then we can also use the high zinc coated wire. It's about more than 180 gram per square meter. This pipe, we always use the pre-galvanized pipe. Pre-galvanized pipe, then the horizontal pipe and the vertical pipe welded together. We will do some anti-rust to protect it from rust. This mesh hole size is about 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter, 60 millimeter by 60 millimeter. This is all we can do according your request. The next, when we connect this one with the next one, it always use the clamp. This clamp is hot dipped. Then you don't need to worry about it will rust. It connect like this. This hole connect this type. Then next panel that with this one. The clamp also have two sides. One side is centimeter to centimeter is 100 millimeter. The other side is about centimeter to centimeter is 75 millimeter. This all surface treatment is hot dipped. This is the clamp. Then next, let me show you the different base for the panel. That in New Zealand is popular base. It's about this yellow, orange, different color. Then it filled with concrete in it. Okay, next let me introduce the different base for the temporary tailing fence. The first one is this one plastic base. It can fill with concrete in it. The color we can do orange or yellow and green. Many different colors that we can do. The next is this one. This one, you can see the hole on it. It can fill with water. This one is also very popular. Then when you need, we can sell in empty base. When the products arrive, you can fill with water inside by yourself. This one is same with this. It can fill with concrete. You can see the hole is outside all over the base that we fill with UV. That product from block under the sunshine. You can see this one. This one you can see is open one side. That we also fill with concrete like this. This two hole size. It can fill with 32 millimeter pipe, 48 millimeter pipe. These two kind of size is same. But the color is different. This is the orange color. This is the green color. That this color we also we can produce. But this green color is our customer special request. This orange color is more popular in the market. This one is also filled with concrete, but it looks different with this one. You can see this one is a little higher than this one, and the hole is different, like this. When we install the panel that like this one panel, another one panel, it's not the same with this one. This color is the red one. That we can do different many cans colors. This is another can. You can see there are four holes that it also fill with UV that produce the products from sunshine, and that we can keep a long time under the sunshine. This one also fill with concrete. This concrete. When it used, it always two base under the panel used together. This is another can. It also one can that fill with the concrete. There are two holes on it. One instead is one panel in the hole, another panel in the other hole. Okay, next one product is the temper fence. This temper fence is different with the Telic fence. Temper fence. The Telic fence, temper fence, is a mesh wound together, then use the tail wire connect with the pipe together. This one is welded. The panel you can see is the horizontal wire and the vertical wire welded together. After we complete the panel, then we welded the panel and the pipe together. You can see the inside panel is the galvanized wire. The galvanized wire is hot dipped. Hot dipped, the zinc coated is about 30 to 60 gram per square meter. The pipe is pre-galvanized pipe. Then that the panel and the pipe welded together. You can see the size. The mesh size we always popular in Australian market is about 150 millimeter by 60 millimeter. Also another size 75 millimeter by 150 millimeter, 60 millimeter by 60 millimeter, 50 millimeter by 100 millimeter is also special we can do for you. The pipe is 32 millimeter. Thickness is 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter. We all can do it. After the panel and the pipe welded together, that we always special deal with the pipe welded points. You can see we always do the paint for products the welded point from rust. The next the connector is about the same with the temperature checking fence. It always use the clamp. The connect is about the same with the temperature checking fence. It also use this clamp. This clamp is about 2 can size. One size is 100 centimeter to centimeter. The other is 75 millimeter, 75 millimeter. It connects like this, or with the screw. Connect one panel by one panel. Next is the base. The base that very popular in Australia market is about the concrete base and the water base. Look at these two cans. These two cans is filled with the concrete. Only the color is different. One color is yellow, another color is orange. There are two holes on the base that connect one panel by one panel. Another kind is another base filled with concrete. Just now I had introduced. This one is a base that filled with concrete. When install it, we always use this. That it will take a more little value. This one is same with these two cans. It also filled with concrete. Only the color is different. The color is red. That one is yellow and orange. That all our base that filled with the UV protect the base from sunshine. This one is also one base that filled with concrete. Only the different color is yellow one, which is same with this. This is a special base that it is very popular in Australia. You can see it the size a little small. That is filled also with the concrete. When you use it, it always use two base for one panel. You can see there are four sides that when our panel in the corner, that it always easy to install this one panel that these two that can connect two panel. This one is a red one. This also used in corner. There you can see four hole size that we can connect in the corner. That three panels or four panels is also okay. You can see the hole size that we can do according your request. Our popular size is 32 millimeter size, but we can special produce for you for 8 millimeter. This one you can see with all two cans is different. The whole size. These two cans is on side, but this one whole size is on it. On it that it always fill with water. This color that we can do according to request. That you don't need to worry your color not produced. This one is first. This is the third can's base. This is very different with that two cans. You can see it's opened one side. There are only two hole sides on it. This panel can fill with 32 millimeter, 48 millimeter. This is the orange color. Another one This is green color, but the size we can do with the last one. It is also opened one side, only color different. Okay, this one is a temporal fence panel. It is different with the temporal telling fence. You can see it is welded together. We can see from it. It is one mesh panel welded together, then the frame with the panel connected also welded. The inside mesh panel is hot dipped galvanized wire. The size is always 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Is very popular in the market. This hole size, the vertical hole size, we can do 150 millimeter, 100 millimeter, and 200 millimeter. The horizontal mesh size we can do 60 millimeter, 50 millimeter, and 75 millimeter. But which one is popular in Australia size? It is according to the ASTM 3687 to 2007 standard. The size is where 4 millimeter. The hole size is 150 millimeter by 60 millimeter. The galvanized this wire that we can use galvanized wire, hot dipped. Hot dipped is about 30 to 60 gram per square meter. The frame pipe that we can use pre-galvanized pipe. The galvanized zinc coated is about 30 to 60 gram per square meter. The size we can use 32 millimeter by 1.5 millimeter thickness, or 32 by 1 millimeter thickness. Also the size, the pipe size we can do 48 millimeter by 1 millimeter thickness, or 2 millimeter thickness. After the mesh panel and the pipe welded together, we always do anti-rust surface. We always painted the panel, or use the paint the pipe and the pipe welded points, that it can protect the welded point from rust. This one, the wise popular in Australia size in Australia market is 2.4 meter. The height is 2.1 meter. And the height another popular size is 1.8 meter. The temporal fence panel is always used in Australia public point building and exhibition, that you can buy it for sale or sell to for customers. That all is the temporal fence panel. If you have any question, you can contact me. I'm Lucy. That I'm from Hebei Dent Fence. This kind of temporal fence is also named canard temporal fence. It always use construction, building, road construction, and public point. You can see there are two different surface treatment Canard temper fence. This one is galvanized Canard temper fence. The behind one, this one. This one is the powder coated temper fence. The size of the Canard temper fence always connected by the galvanized. For example, the galvanized Canard temper fence. The wear diameter is always 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 5 millimeter. The hole size is about 60 by 60 millimeter. 50 by 150 millimeter, 100 by 200 millimeter, 75 by 150 millimeter. The pipe size is always 25 millimeter by 25 millimeter. It always uses a square post for the frame. The horizontal pipe is always use also square post. This kind of temper fence, also named Canard temper fence, it always use construction, road building, and public site. You can see there are two different Canard temper fence. This one is galvanized temper fence. Another one is the powder coated Canard temper fence. The galvanized Canard temper fence process is hot dipped galvanized wire welded together a panel, then welded with the frame together. The size of the wire is 3 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter, 4 millimeter. The whole size we can produce is 50 millimeter by 150 millimeter, 75 millimeter by 150 millimeter, 50 millimeter by 200 millimeter. Another special mesh size we also can do is 60 millimeter by 60 millimeter, 100 by 200 millimeter. You can see it connect with the square post frame, the horizontal pipe. The frame pipe is always by square post. The size is about 25 by 25 millimeter. The thickness we can do is 1 millimeter, 1.2 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter, 1.8 millimeter, 2 millimeter thickness. The middle pipe we always do size is 20 by 20 millimeter. It always square post. Thickness is the same with the frame pipe size. The thickness we also can do 1 millimeter, 1.2 millimeter, 1.5, 1.8, 2 millimeter thickness. Then next we introduce the base. The base is different with Australia temper fence and temper tiling fence. It always with steel base. The steel base surface treatment is same with the panel, also hot dipped. You can see we welded two pipe for install the panel. The base size is about width is 100 millimeter. The length we can do 675 millimeter. Thickness is 5 millimeter or 6 millimeter. The surface treatment, hot dip treatment, we have two different kinds. One kind is hot dipped wire and pre-galvanized pipe welded together. Then we painted the welded point. Another one is black pipe, black wire welded together, then hot dipped. This one is different with last one. This one is high single coated. The single coated can get 260 gram per square meter. The galvanized wire and the pre-galvanized pipe welded together. This one single coated is about 30 to 60 gram per square meter. Okay, this one is galvanized canard temper fence. The next one, this one is powder coated canard temper fence. The size, you can see the size, the frame size is same with the hot dipped galvanized frame. It always popular size is the 25 by 25 square post. The middle pipe popular size is 20 by 20 millimeter square post. Thickness we can do 1 millimeter, 1.2 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter. This one only surface treatment is different with this one. This one powder coated inside the surface treatment is always electric galvanized wire and pre-galvanized pipe welded together. Then that we will do the powder coated. The color that we can do yellow, green, red, black. That according our customers' request. The base size is about same with last we introduced the hot dipped one. It always the width is 100 millimeter. The length about 750 millimeter. Thickness is 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter. Then that when we connect one panel by one panel, we always use this clamp. This clamp is use the pipe welded together. This pipe is 25 square meter. The other two pipe is 20 millimeter. That we connect one panel by one panel like this. Like this.